Oh God, it's starting. Are we starting? We're starting.
We're
Hello.
here. Hey.
Oh man, normally I'd start it out by doing some Ryan and then ask you some stupid question because that's how Derek tends to open every single show. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we are just going to get right into it because Derek's on vacation. He is AJ Cruz already in the chat. He's talking to Derek. And he said, Derek, I don't know how you survived to adulthood in Texas. It's muggy as a motherfucker, but Bucky's brisket sandwiches are the truth. We need those off the 5, and Galveston is a gem of a dive port. I want to go back. All right. Derek is still in Texas right now. This dude's he's doing the classic Papa vacation. Mauser, I don't know if you remember from back in the 95-7 days, but
Wait a minute.
Papa and Bonte would do the classic all-star break vacation where it's like as soon as the all-star break hits, they're gone. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way they're going to try to even come up with topics in literally the slowest time in sports. So he is still on vacay. I think he's actually on a boat as we speak.
Not a bad way to spend a day.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be really funny. We should maybe text him and just see if he could tune in from that boat, and we just get like a live look and just get a couple of minutes from him. Or not. I mean, I don't blame him if he just wants to sit on the boat and do whatever
your calls at all times.
yeah, just like he normally does anyway. That guy never answers his fucking phone. Just kidding. That's me. So we are on Just Your Opinion, man. We're still doing an episode. I realized, so I got Ryan Mauser here. Ryan Mauser, he used to be a producer at 95.7, and Mauser, as I popped on here, I realized the professional podcaster thing to do, which I'm not, but the professional thing to do would be to ask what you got going on right now. All I know is you're in Seattle. You told me you got a podcast work ramping up. I don't even know what it's called. And I don't even know where you're working in Seattle because we got that kind of relationship where all we do is just send each other stuff and we don't actually ask how each other's doing.
It's the man relationship. It's how all men communicate.
Yeah.
It's the way we do it.
So how you doing? I guess that's my first question. What's going on?
I'm doing great. As you can see, this is Seattle. As you can tell, it's my apartment here. So yeah, Seattle's great. We've gotten a lot of sun recently, as many of you probably are surprised that sun exists here. It does.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It doesn't rain 24/7 as you and I thought before I got here. But it's good. I was at the Mariners game last night. That was a lot of fun. Go do a lot of those. And yeah, so I got a podcast going on, the South End Zone podcast. Got that going on with my co-host, Jason Bailey. So that's been a lot of fun, just getting that going.
Yeah.
And we're ramping up to football season, so give us a listen there.
What do you guys talk about? What do you guys do?
All football. Just football in general.
Just nonstop football.
No, it's only football show. It's an only football show. We'll do some college but mostly NFL. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of fun getting that going. He's in Alabama, or not. He used to be. He's not in Alabama right now, and I'm blanking on exactly where he's at. So, my apologies, Jason, if you're watching or listening,
because you don't even know where your own podcast co-host is living.
So he travels a lot for his job, right? And so he's always recording in hotels and all these other places, and he's a big-time Alabama fan. So I always just put Alabama ahead, but I know it's not Alabama. It's I believe Tennessee. That's where I'm leaning, somewhere around that area.
So he's kind of in the SEC country.
He's big SEC territory, big Bama guy. So I always like to roast him a little bit here and there. Nick Saban's the greatest of all time to him.
Of course,
Jalen Hurts is his guy, but he's a Ravens fan, so that's been fun.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we will be talking football eventually. Not too much. Like I don't really know how much. Personally, I could preview. Like I got a few things that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, but we are pretty much at the unofficial start of the NFL season, which is training camp. And somehow they have, like, the NFL's genius, man. They've gotten us to stay locked in through the most meaningless time when it's only training camp. It's wild that we're paying attention day to day, but there are some interesting things going on.
It's impressive. The fact NFL just rules no matter what, no matter the time of the year, either you're thinking about football, you're counting down until football, or you're watching football. It's impressive. The fact that the draft where you're just watching guys walk across the stage gets that big of a buzz going on to where people didn't even know the MLB draft went on.
Yeah. Yeah. So they barely even marketed it either, but the NFL makes it out to be like the biggest event of the year. So we are going to talk a little bit of NFL, and we're also going to do a little, I guess you could call this like an ode to the late, great Michael Urban, but we're pretty much going to do like a good for ball, bad for ball situation. But it's almost like good for the game, potentially bad for the game. And we're just going to go through the guys we feel like are good for their respective sport or who might be bad for their respective sport. Who knows, whichever direction we want to go. But we also have a little Giants baseball being played right now. And the last I saw, it was 8-6. And I think that game is heading into, it's going into the middle of the 8th here. Looks like the Giants aren't going to get away from this one scoring any runs. They don't have a batter on, or they don't have a runner on, and all they got is Brett Wisely at bat right now.
Yeah, he just flew out.
Oh God. So Mauser, you have more access, I think, at this point. So keep me updated. But I do want to. So you have MLB TV.
I do. I have to. If I'm going to watch Giants games, I have to get it. Otherwise, I'm not watching.
Okay, because I was going to ask if you are in that category of fan who's just super pissed that they keep broadcasting these games on the Roku channel. like it's just, I remember I was at the Giants Dodgers game on Sunday, the Sunday before the All-Star break, the one where they lost in extra innings. They came back and ended up losing. But there were people even at the game, even though they're watching it live, who are still complaining that it was broadcast on Roku channel. So I mean, I guess I was going to ask like if you were in that category of fan, but it turns out that you're good.
It makes zero difference to me whether it's on Roku. The only downside is not hearing like our guys. Granted, Dave Fleming's on the call today, and last week it was Hunter Pence was with play-by-play Steven Nelson for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So you get that. That was my concern with the Roku is that the split of, okay, I don't want this to be a super Dodger heavy broadcast. Joe Davis, for as good as he is on the National, every time I hear him, I just think Dodger immediately, and it makes a sour taste in my mouth.
I think that's it. That's it. You
Right?
you have pretty much explained everything that's going on in my head with Joe Davis. There was something about him.
He's great on the call.
Yeah.
He does football. I like him on football with Greg Olson and doing all that.
Yeah.
But anytime he's on, all I think is, am I watching a Dodger broadcast right now?
It does feel like if he gets a Dodger broadcast on the playoffs and he does a Shohei Ohtani call, like you can even tell with that Sunday broadcast. Unfortunately, with like, I don't know, a Hunter Pence type, he's not going to be too pushy on trying to be biased with the Giants. Like he's going to try to be like the good guy. So with the other dude, I forgot his name.
Steven Nelson was the play-by-play.
Steven Nelson. With him, you could tell that there was a little bit of, way more excitement rather when the road team ended up getting runs. It feels twisted, doesn't it? It feels like
it didn't help that the fans sounded like a Dodger game. So he was getting excited as the crowd was getting excited, which that was irritating to me that the watching the game, you're just hearing you would watch on the TV and you just see a sea of blue everywhere. Yeah. And I'm wondering like what is happening?
Yeah. Well, I think it's because of what we're seeing on the field right now. And Mauser, that's what we're going to get to. By the way, AJ Cruz, he says, wait, that's not Derek. That's an imposter. I mean, he's not really trying to be an imposter of Derek Pop.
I could take this off and maybe get a little bit closer. That way we can workshop that maybe next time.
Derek sounded stoked that you were going to be filling in because each time I've done this, or each time he's gone on vacation, we just had like the podcast take a week off. And when he was there, I'm like, dude, I could just get someone. I could do it. And then like, I was like racking my brain for a bit. And then you were the first person I texted. And then I told Derek, and I think Derek was just excited that I actually did a little bit of work.
He's, oh my God, the show's just not taking a break. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For doing some actual producing. This is long past his days of doing that. Come on.
Yeah, as you guys know, that's not really my strong suit. But anyway, as we move on with the Giants, though, it feels like throughout this season and really every season since 2021, even before that, feels like the Giants are just towing that line where it's between mediocrity and good. And I really think they're leaning towards that side of mediocre this year, but they keep on hopping. They keep on going back and forth. mediocre to maybe this team can do something in the playoffs. Maybe they can sneak in via the wild card, but they have the All-Star break only with 3 pitchers to show for it. One of them was inactive because he obviously pitched on Sunday, but even the All-Star break, they still came out fairly sluggish. And Friday night, I think they made a little bit of history. I think it was like the first time since a 1959 Giants team had recorded 11 hits and didn't have a single run to show for it. And it looks like it's trending towards a sweep in Toronto. So, I mean, Mauser, I would give you more of just a current question, but since you are filling in here, just your overall perspective of the Giants so far.
It's been one of those stretches of games where you're just watching them, right? And you're sitting there and you're going, I'm excited to watch this team. And then you're watching, you're going, I can't wait to turn this shit off. Like it's one of those, it's so infuriating because you look at this team, you look at the lineup, and they have guys in the lineup to where you're going, okay, Chapman, Ramos, you got Devers, Willie's been on fire. And then you get down to the bottom of the lineup and you're going, okay, well, Bailey can't hit anything. And you're going, well, what are we going to do about that? Your second base is in flux. The first base, you have no idea. But this team has Robbie Ray and Logan Webb pitching like Cy Young candidates right now. Both All-Stars, like you said. They have one of the best bullpens, although it's been shaky here and there lately.
Yeah.
But this team and going, this is an easy playoff team. Now you look at it and you go, okay, we are in one of the toughest divisions. Dodgers, Padres, obviously 2 of the favorites. But that's why there's 3 wild card spots.
Yeah. And you take a look, though, in those players you mentioned, especially at the top, like you feel like any one of those guys could be an all-star. I mean, the top 4 in the lineup today, Jung-Hoo Lee, Ramos, Devers, and Adames. You feel like those guys have all-star potential. It looked like Jung-Hoo Lee was going to be that. You thought even Rafael Devers would sneak in after his trade from the Red Sox, but then he's only hitting like 200 with the Giants right now. I mean, is this just overreacting because it's one bad series after the All-Star break and we've been waiting a week for baseball? Or is this just another situation where we could be headed towards, oh, well, they might make the wild card, but they probably won't. And then we end up seeing them go on a 5-game win streak at the end of September when it's meaningless.
So to me, it was one of those, watching this team, it looked like they were dragging to the All-Star break. And I thought, okay, just get to the All-Star break. You need that break. Devers, I wish he would get a day off here and there because since he's gotten to the Giants, I don't think he's had a day off.
Yeah.
And so you're going, he's pressing. It was a lot going on with him. He's on the unluckiest spot right now because he's hitting the ball hard this series and has just about nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So you're going, okay, he's going to get going at some point. He's hitting the ball well. Willie's trying to carry the team for as much as he can. Chapman's still coming back from the injury. But you look at the other guys and you're going, all right, Ramos has these spurts here and there. Jung-Hoo Lee, I don't know what's going on with that bat. He had the nice base hit, and then he runs himself into it out to kill the inning.
Yeah.
And that's your top of the lineup, and those are your guys producing, and you're going, today it's been the bottom of the lineup, the Wisleys. Kisner has 2 hits today. Tom Smith gone on base. So you're just going, you have depth there to where the guys are coming in and filling in spots, but it doesn't seem like anyone gets going at the same time.
Is it? I could be wrong. Is it way too early to look and just evaluate them as if they were a playoff team in that I'm looking at them now, where they're at? They're 52-47. They are probably going to stay at 3rd behind the Padres and have to go on like a pretty big run while the Padres go on a losing streak here. And maybe they could squeeze their way into the playoffs. But I'm just looking at this lineup and I can't help but think, God, they do have all this all-star potential, but if they get to the postseason, I can't rely on them consistently to produce when it matters. It feels like we get stretches of games when they do, but then they get into these lulls, and it's like, are they going to get into one of those lulls when it comes to October? It's probably unfair because it's baseball. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And we're pretty much at the probably like the 18-mile mark if we're looking at this, keeping this metaphor with a marathon here.
You're just pulling out some numbers. I'm going, 18 miles. You're making me think over here. I didn't know I was going to do this on a Sunday.
What do you mean? There's not much thinking to do. It's just 26 miles is a marathon.
I didn't know 26 miles was a marathon. That's my problem. No, I'm not out here running marathons where I'm keeping track of that, but thank you for that knowledge. So now I know.
God damn
All
it.
right, cool. 18. Yeah, I'd say we're about there then.
Listen, dude, just use that in your South End Zone podcast. Try and figure out a way to use that knowledge. All right.
I'm writing that one down to keep in there, and I'm gonna pop it out at some point. But like you're saying, it's not early, but it's not late either. It's kind of that weird spot. I think after the trade deadline comes, that's where it's really that point of now you got to turn up the heat. Now you got to really get going and put some pressure. The nice thing is you look at it and you go, the Dodgers are 6 games leading in the division, right?
Yeah.
6 is not a lot.
Yeah.
6 can turn real quick. You still have another matchup with them. I think 2 back-to-back series in September. That's a huge moment right there. That would be a defining point. But you look at this pitching that the Giants have in a wild card situation, right? It takes 2 wins to move on.
Yeah.
You go Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, you get 7 innings from each and scratch across 4 runs. You looking at it and going, we can win that series. Now, when you're going against these tougher bats, tougher lineups, and your window to make a mistake is that much smaller. We saw Robbie Ray today struggled a bit, couldn't get get to the 5th.
Yeah.
And so you're going, all right, if we have one of those, we don't have the bats that consistently produce to be able to do it. And the Giants just lost, by the way.
Yeah. It's did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there you go. They ended up getting swept. Didn't really do much after, what was that? The top of the 6th when they started putting some runs on the board. Didn't score one after that. And the Giants just got swept to open up the All-Star break. Not great. Yeah, I agree that if your starting pitcher has an outing, especially your all-star starting pitcher has an outing like he did today, then I don't know, it feels like they're kind of screwed, which I don't want to feel that way when I get into the postseason. You know,
you would hope that you can go in with a little more confidence and faith.
I want to feel like I want the starting pitcher to be like the second thing I think of when I'm in the postseason. It's like I want to think about how the lineup can attack whoever's on the mound for the other team, whoever's starting for the other one. But I'd also want to think, oh, but by the way, we got this guy going. Like, oh, this is going to be a big one. It feels like the thing with the Giants too. There's a lot with them, but there's a lot. But it feels like if we're going inside baseball here, I know that the 2021 season is not something is something that people look at as an outlier, right? Yeah. It's like that was a fluke of a season, which okay, that's fine. But if you remember their offense, it wasn't like they were this powerhouse on paper. But one thing I remember about the offense is they were always getting into favorable counts. Not always, but consistently. It felt like they were getting into favorable counts more often than not, where the pitcher was behind and just forced to throw strikes, and they would capitalize on it. It feels like with this team, they're kind of on the line of being aggressive where they want to be. But when they're being patient, it feels like there are so many 3-ball counts where they just don't take advantage of it, or they get into early 2-strike counts and then they're just confused with what to do. Like you could tell they're overthinking. It feels like this lineup, they
don't have a plan.
They don't. It doesn't seem like it, does it?
They don't have a plan of attack. It's going up there and they're just kind of swinging at what they get and trying to just get on base like you're supposed to do. But there's no real plan of attack of, okay, here's how we want to get after this guy. Towards it's the reverse for against us is that we're getting these guys where Robbie Ray had to work extremely hard today because the Giants got their first walk today of the series. I have not heard a 3-game series to where the team did not walk until I think it was the 5th inning. Yeah. Oh, no, the 6th inning where they scored the runs.
It took 23 innings. It took 23 innings of baseball for them to draw a walk. Yeah.
That's absurd. I think Dave said it was the first time since 2009 or something like that.
Insane.
And then you have Devers, who is one of those guys who has led the league in walks first time in Boston, right?
Right.
You look at it and you're going, Yaz usually has good at bats to where he's always in full counts.
Right.
But from Jung Ho Lee, it seems like every time he's up, first 2 pitches, he's making either an out or getting on base. So you're wondering, okay, what are we doing? Pat Burrell, what are you teaching these guys? What are you trying to get them to do?
Yeah. Is it mechanics? Is it the mind game? Is it the chess match that you're playing with the pitcher? Like, what exactly is it? And that was going to lead me into this. Like, do you think the whole firing coaches thing is overblown, or because we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of, especially after these types of games where, you have one good inning, but it's not, you're not scoring crooked numbers in, the second, fourth, or sixth. You're doing it in just the fourth inning. Like, do you think that it's justified, or are you kind of like, nah, this is a little ridiculous. Let's not go that far.
I'm not a big fire in the middle of season especially if it's like, okay, well, what's your plan for when you fire him?
Yeah.
Because it's not like those coaches who are on the staff right now also aren't contributing.
Yeah.
It's not just this one guy, but it's the method that they're all pushing out together. And you're going, all right, well, if you're not going to be having this guy who's going to come in right away and immediately this was the secret. This is why we were being struggling. If you don't have that plan, a backup plan, I don't like the idea of firing like that aspect.
Right. It feels it's a little too much of a snap reaction, because you can't name any replacements as hitting coaches. Like, what all you got in your back pocket is Barry Bonds. Like, but like, it feels Barry was too good and to the point where what he teaches, he's gonna be like, why can't you just do this? Too advanced, dude. It feels like you ever watch Miracle? I reference Miracle on this podcast all the time.
The hockey movie, yeah. USA winning and
yeah. Where like Herb Brooks, not the NBA player. Herb Brooks is writing on his whiteboard with all these different things they got to do and arrows pointing this way and blah, 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 blah. And then once he leaves, everyone's like, the hell was he talking about? I feel like it could be that way with Barry, where he just like said he has all these mind games that he plays with the pitcher. He was in his own world. He was so advanced beyond anyone else.
Did you see that special he did with Kite?
Yes.
Where he walked through it and talked about all the home runs and everything. And he mentioned, and they got into it speaking. I think it was on there. He was speaking. It might've been a podcast I saw Barry on. Yeah. But he was talking about his hitting and how he comes to the ballpark and being around the guys, having him around, and guys like Buster Posey. He mentioned Pat Burrell, Bob Melvin, all these guys who have been there, done that. He said, all we want to do is be there for them. We don't have to tell them all these little secrets here and there. They know what to do. It's just a matter of, here's the mindset that I got into. Here's what you want to do. Be yourself. So that's where, as a hitting coach, I like that advice of, I'm not going to give you, here's how you should swing your bat and get this launch angle. That's going to help you do that. But coming in there and being, guys, relax. Here's what you're looking for. And that's where I go back to, what's the plan of attack when you're in the box? Yeah. Because the mechanics and all that you're going to work on, each guy's swing's different. But if you go in there and you give them, okay, here's how we want to get after this guy. Here's what you should be kind of mentally locked into. That, I think, is the benefit that I don't see from this team right now.
God, they're just such a different eras, Like all the guys that he mentioned, were from years past, but all those guys focused on batting average and actually just getting base hits. I wonder what it's like, though, with minor league development, like compared to what it was before. It's got to be so different than what they're used to.
Well, and you look at it, people are fast track now. You think about it back earlier days, right? When we were younger watching and growing up with this stuff, is that you saw you didn't know about a draft pick. You just kind of, we have this top prospect, right? But you would think he's not going to be here for the next 5-6 years. Yeah. You would just, nowadays you have guys get drafted and make it up in the same year. Christian Moore was on Tennessee last year, winning the College World Series. Then he's up with the Angels and producing. You got Roman Anthony for the Red Sox getting fast track, coming up immediately. Yeah. We won't name him, but the old Rays prospect that someone was a big fan of on this show.
What? Who? What?
Wander Franco.
That guy.
You were on him. You told me about him long before he got up there. Bad name to be associated with nowadays, but
I didn't think that he'd be getting charged with all these different things, with sex trafficking, with the minor's mom also being involved. Didn't think that was happening at the time when he was just 19 years old,
But it goes back to the idea of these top prospects getting pushed and succeeding and being able to do it. It's where it's different from older days, right? To where it was, okay, well, he needs the grind in the minor leagues. He has to get those at bats. Now they're just going like, we don't care if you come up here and hit 230, 240. You're going, how many? You hit 20 home runs for us? We wanted that. Cool. You got some walks. So it is very different of a game, like you were saying, than Barry Bonds' time.
Yeah. I wonder if it's I wonder if what's the word I'm looking for? I guess if there's something that gets lost in translation when it comes to the older coaches trying to teach the newer guys, because I just think coming up, it's just a
But
vastly
wasn't
different
that the
game.
whole point of getting back to hiring Bob Melvin?
I thought
Was
so.
to
Yeah.
get away from Cade Kapler, who was this all analytics, him and Farhan together, and doing that to a Bob
Mhm.
Melvin old school. He's going to get them back into there, and we haven't gotten
Mm.
back to anything super great.
No, it's just pitchers go way longer than they should. Like today,
Why was Robbie Ray back out there?
you alluded to it, dude. Like Robbie Ray going back out into the fifth. There's no point. This guy had thrown 85 pitches already by the end of the fourth inning or whatever crazy number
Against
that
the
was.
hottest hitter in baseball right now in George Springer, who then
Yeah.
hits a bomb.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I did the Drake shrug, you know, the gif that's used of Drake after Kevin Durant gets injured and he's just like on the sidelines like, oh man, but it looks fake. That's how I was because I got Springer on my fantasy team. Like, you know,
All right, well, there you go. I have Barger, but he's on my bench, so I was
oh
disappointed when
shit.
he hit that homer. I'm winning the week already, so it didn't matter. But
Yeah, but then he just decides to hit one 700 feet.
I was like, that would have been nice to put on my team for
Yeah.
the day. That would have been cool to have, but I was hoping for a better Robbie Ray performance where he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Like, so I'm with you though. Like if they're going to make a change, they got to wait till after the season. I don't really think that benefits. I don't think that benefits anyone doing it mid-season. You're not
that far out, is the
exactly.
thing. So making this drastic change right there,
Yeah.
it signals to me that there's panic, and I don't
Yeah.
think you need to panic yet because again, you're 6 back of the Dodgers. You're right there for a wild card spot still. I mean, we're not even in August yet.
Right. You're not the Nationals. You're not the White Sox. Shout out to the Pope. You're not the Rockies. Like you don't need to be making any.
You're sitting 2 games out of the third playoff, the third wild card spot right now, right? And the Padres are right there. So, we now travel to Atlanta, head there. Who Atlanta's been one of the most disappointing teams all year, and that's another team. You look at their lineup and go, "Why is this team so bad?"
Yeah, you just can't explain it. Sometimes you just can't explain it. It's baseball. It's baseball. But there are some things you can do to change it, and that would be making additions at the trade deadline. You see Buster pulling out something like a Devers trade. I'll just give you my quick take on the Devers trade just to give you a little bit of backstory. But I thought it was obviously a tremendous move, but I didn't think he made the trade because, oh, this is a team that's going to win and I need to make a winning move as if we're a playoff team. I think he just struck while the iron was hot and just said, you know what? If I could get him on this 8-year, $250 million, that whatever's remaining on his contract, it's probably cheaper than what we get him for the open market. So I just thought it was a move where he saw an opportunity and took it. But the trade deadline's a little different. You can't just hope that there's some team out there that's disgruntled with their superstar because there's other, there's postseason implications and all that involved. And obviously we've seen what the Red Sox are doing as of late. So I think they're
seems to be that but for both sides, that was a cloud hanging over all of them.
Totally.
The Red Sox, they needed to move off that. Devers needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
For Devers, with the trade, coming over, it's such a big adjustment. He's been in one organization, lived one place for so long, and now coming over and it's a new ballpark. It's not an easy ballpark to let's walk into and go, cool, I can mash here. So he's learning those. Again, he hit the ball extremely hard all game.
Yeah.
All series. It's gonna turn around at some point. It just would like to happen sooner than later. I mean, look at Willie's first start to the year, right? It was a horrible grind for him. And yet now you're looking at him going, I can count on him
right
consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just disappointing too, I guess, because of at least the recent showing is because you signed these guys on big year deals. Chapman, Lee, Devers, and now Adames are all locked up for the next 5-6 years.
That's your core. That's
you're
riding with that group.
Yeah. And you feel good about, them giving Logan Webb the contract, but those other guys so far, I guess a lot more is left to be desired. But up to this trade deadline, do you think there's any move they can make here where you're going to feel a little bit better about this team, or are you kind of just indifferent about it?
I'd really like Ryan O'Hearn. I
Yeah,
think that
big one.
Dom Smith, for as who he is right now, would be DFA'd.
Yeah.
If you go and get a guy like O'Hearn, a lefty bat, Power was the All-Star starter for the AL because Devers got traded. He moved up in the DH spot and got that, and he hit a home run today actually for the Orioles. And so you're looking at them, who Orioles are going to be selling off some pieces. They have all their young talent that they want to just continue to bring up. That's someone that you could look at and go, okay, we can place him there at first base and DH at times. For me, the big thing with Devers, going back to it, is he's not a DH is my problem. And not everyone's meant to be a DH. I mean, for the first, we saw it the first start to the year for him in Boston. What was it? 0 for 16 with 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, shoot, it was even, you can go further. I think it was like 0 for 21 with like whatever, how many strikeouts it was. Yeah.
Not everyone is meant to be a DH because the fact of all you're doing is thinking about when you're struggling, right? You're just sitting there going, I can't hit the ball. I can't hit this. I can't hit this pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I made the hard contact, but it's a line out to shortstop. And it just weighs on you to where you have no escape. When at least you're in the field, you have to take your mind off of that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Melvin said something to the effect of there's no rush to get him starting to play first base. Well, I think there is a little bit. I think they need a little urgency to get him out there because you make a solid play, you do something where you help your team. Yeah, just some form of momentum where it's like, all right, I got to keep this going when I'm in the batter's box. It's totally different. And it seems like, Shohei Ohtani has no problem with it, just immediately going to the DH role. But Devers is
a guy who didn't want to be a DH.
Right.
So he it's not like he had to, hey, I'm an older player. I have to do. I'm not. Yeah, he's not great defensively, but he was fine to where it was like, hey, I can do this and do that. Being DH, he said he didn't want to do it.
Right.
And now I know what he said when he got acquired. What was he going to say when he came to the Giants? Like, nope, I ain't playing there for you. Of course he's going to be like, I will play wherever they want me to. Let me help this team out, however.
Mauser, you're getting a little first taste here as to the randomness of the chat.
Scammy, that one's
Scobby.
There we go. I like that one.
So you got I wonder how Mauser's been doing up in the Pacific Northwest. I wonder what he's been up to.
I'm loving it up here. Seahawks fans everywhere. It's great. I am in my home of surrounded by my people. So thank you. But yeah, it's great up here in the Pacific Northwest. I do miss going to Oracle Park. That is a shame, but T-Mobile's not a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a good team too. They're fine. Big dumper.
Big MVP.
Big MVP. Oh, big MVP.
He's my MVP right now.
Yeah. Look, man, he's playing the toughest position you can on a baseball diamond, and
his days off are DH.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Also, ain't no humidity there. Mauser's doing just fine. A lot of rain. He kind of dispelled that AJ right at the beginning of the show. So the rain is so.
It's here and there. There are stretches where it rains for like 2 weeks in a row, and it's like dumping. And you're like, damn. Sorry, bud, you're not getting walked today.
Nice guy wouldn't be able to step out of the airport. Englishman wilt under humidity. Steven would say, if you don't like humidity, then don't go there. It's our country. I would. I'd say if you don't want to go there, just don't go there.
Just avoid it, right? Hey, I know I would not go anywhere near humidity, all that place.
Yeah. I'm
not going to Florida. No thanks. I'm not going over there.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool off Florida. Maybe Miami, but I think I'm just a little. I'm on that. I'm on the other side of the hill, Mauser.
Maybe in our Chico days, Miami would have been a great destination.
Yeah. You know what? Let me give the people a little bit of backstory here with us too, because they do know you worked at 95.7 and produced and did the whole bit. But I was when I was on the board, you interned, or at least you were shadowing as an intern or whatever, just getting experience with every show and kind of just seeing what was up everywhere. I think was it me and Cody when you first got there?
God, it was you and Cody was the person who hired me as an intern.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me. So he tells me.
Yeah. Well, if you do anything successful in your radio career, he will take credit for it. So just prepare for that.
That's completely true.
I gave you your start.
I've heard that too. Man, I'm like, dude, Sure. All right. Thanks. And then you dip almost immediately. So what?
But when we were interning, or when you were interning, I realized, oh, you're not like just someone who is still in school and is just kind of looking for, a part-time job. You just got back from Chico, and it turns out that you and I went to Chico at the exact same time.
Same year.
And we're the same age, went there the same year.
Knew some similar people.
For all we know, we could have met and we just didn't even know it. I thought I recognized you because you were managing at the Woodstock's Pizza out there. And I swear I recognized that one guy.
I kicked some drunk blonde guy out before many times. So it was probably you every now and then.
Oh, come on, man. You know I wasn't hanging out at Woodstock's.
Hey, you go to the bars, you leave U-Bar, you're leaving Riley's. No, you weren't going to Riley's. You were a LaSalle's guy.
I enjoyed LaSalle's, but I was more.
You didn't want to get shot.
Yeah, I liked it more on that side though, where you're talking about with the U-Bar than the Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
But then you go to Riley's for the $5 Fridays and whatever.
Stick to the floor while you're standing.
Oh God, because. What are they thinking? Honestly, they give a bunch of 21-year-olds pitchers full of well drinks, small pitchers, that is, but bigger than a glass, and they give it out for, was it $5, or am I thinking of like Safeway?
No. It was extremely cheap. It's $5 Fridays, I believe it was.
I think it was, yeah.
You know what? Tuesday was like $1 shot or $2 shot nights there.
And God.
I got carried my 21st birthday. We ended up going to Riley's. I got carried out. That was a rough one. I woke up the next morning just going, oh my God, I'm never drinking again.
Yeah, you're not the first. You're not the first to do that. And then Ernie too. Also, is Mauser doing radio up in Seattle? You got that?
I am not doing radio. I was working at 710 for a little bit, but with my big boy job. Didn't have the schedule for that, so now I'm just doing the podcast on my own with my co-host.
Yeah, there you go. And then does Mauser know Michael Connell? No. That's so, dude. This was also random. You want to talk about like Chico bleeding into your work life? So I had a dude who I was a classmate with in the same major and everything at Chico, and we did like a few. Were you the media arts too? Were you communication design?
Yeah. Broadcast, media arts.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. So we were in the same major too. And somehow we never met before. Wild.
Well, I started at Butte. So you might have been in a different class once I was officially at Chico State.
Right.
I was also not going to class. So that was
and that's where you're at, where you're at.
Exactly.
Actually having a big boy job. But Michael randomly texted me out of nowhere one day, and he's like, hey man, I just got a job at KMBR. And he started working at KMBR, and now he's like the director of digital or something like that. He was just this guy who was just randomly in my class. It was out of nowhere.
Chico is the smallest world of and you would run into people and you would know them and you see them and you're going, how do we know each? Oh, we randomly. Yeah, I was there too. Oh, I was there at that time. And it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
I've yet to run into someone out here from Chico, so I'm waiting for that day to happen.
Oh, God. Chico and Seattle. Those two are always linked. Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on to get back to the Giants. As far as the trade deadline, I don't know if there's anything earth-shattering they can do. I know Susan Slusser brought up the idea of possibly trading for Brent Rooker. But I think she just kind of used that, needed to use some comments that he made at the All-Star game and maybe tie them into the Giants. She said,
did you like what he was saying? It came off way too salty for me.
What? After
his home run derby talk? Because Cal won by – I don't love how he won. I don't know how they measured it to get the correct amount, right? I'm not blaming that. But also like, oh, if I would have known it was this and – yeah, well, they didn't tell me all of this. I get it, dude. It's a home run derby. Like, relax.
I kind of get it though. Like he was warming up and didn't
was knowing that they were gonna do by a meter gonna make you hit the ball 3 inches further.
Yeah, I know, but it did come off that way. But he did.
They should have done a swing off.
They should have. They should have. I think that's fair, but I think he was also. I think if he was going to be as frustrated as he was, I think he owns that. At first he sounded like he was okay. Like, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. But clearly you're bothered by it. And
He
it's
was
okay.
clearly bothered.
It's okay. Like I think athletes need to be a little more upfront about how they're truly feeling. Like, cause they'll try and sugarcoat it a little bit and then get into it.
People like, dance around it and going like, oh, right. I didn't care that much. But had they told me the truth, I would have tried a little bit to make sure. Like, dude, just be like, yeah, I'm kind of pissed off that they did that. It's you're in the right to be pissed off. I'd be annoyed too. That hey, now Cal goes on to win, so it kind of was like, would that have been Brent? Probably not. But
yeah. Well, what about that aspect? How about the swing off at the end of the game? Did you like that?
I love that. I thought that was I think Kyle Schwarber is the best home run hitter in baseball right now.
Yeah.
And so watching him just demolish the baseballs.
Yeah.
It was so exciting. Just anyone that was going hardcore against it saying, oh, give me extra innings. It's an all-star game. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was tremendous. I thought it was tremendous, man. And Schwarber just, he hits bombs, dude. He's like a beer league softball player. He just winds up. Man. He just winds up and lets it fly.
You see those videos like Jason Worth in like a men's league? I want to see Kyle Schwarber do that and just go.
He will. He will. That's for sure. Like he's no doubt he's going to get into that after. I don't see him being much of a post-career broadcaster. I don't see him doing any of that stuff. I just see him dominating in beer league.
Just hitting dingers.
Yeah.
He's got the body for it too.
He does, man. He was bored for that. Literally, if there's anyone bored to play slow pitch softball, it's Kyle Schwarber.
Tommy Call build.
Hey, man, you better watch out with that. He's got that MMA stuff going
on.
Dude,
he's been telling me. I told him I've been trying to get some classes. He was giving me some tips, telling me to get going at it. So shout out Tommy, who just had his son too.
Oh, that's right. The 4th.
Yeah, the 4th.
Oh, man, I haven't even texted him about that. Probably should. Sorry,
that's
Tommy.
Rude.
Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? It's kind of bad. All right. So, the whole Brent Rooker trade thing, though, it felt like, Sluster was just trying to make something of the comments that she had because they weren't really set in front of cameras or microphones. So it was just, he just basically said, I'm used to those rumors. I just shrugged them off. But she did say they could use a right-handed power bat, and I wouldn't mind them making some form of a surprise trade that you didn't even.
Where do you put him?
Brent Rooker? Yeah.
Because he's DHing for the A's right now.
Right. Now I'd probably still keep him at DH and then just
platoon
Devers to first. I think that's what I'd do.
But then you got to get Devers out there and taking ground balls and fielding. And
I mean, he's been taking ground balls since I've been there. Like, which is why I didn't take the Will Clark comments like all too much into account.
Well, even Will cleared those up.
Yeah. But he's been like taking grounders and working at first whenever he can. And I'm kind of going all over the place here, but even with Devers, the thing that does worry me is a potential for further injury. Like he was hurt. There was a little hesitation with putting him out there just because he could have gone on the injured list. Some thought he should have maybe gone on the injured list.
What was he dealing with? I didn't never hear what it was dealing with.
It was, I think it was a groin issue or something along those lines. I could be wrong about that. Maybe even an oblique. Might have been that.
Those are the scary ones too.
Yeah, something that didn't sound great. So I think my hope for the second or this second half is not so much like can they power their lineup or can they beef up their starting rotation. It's just hopefully they didn't mishandle this Devers situation, because if they want to get hot, I think it's going to be coinciding with Devers getting hot. And I think that's just going to be a huge piece of this team in the next couple of months. So
you mentioned just now, and I was thinking about this the other day, and because you mentioned beefing up the starting pitching, there was a name that recently popped up, and I don't know if you guys have talked about it. He used to pitch for the Dodgers, Julio Urias.
Oh my God, Julio Urias?
Yes. Would you take a stab at signing him? They said he's cleared now. He's a free agent.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
When I saw that, and then they were talking about how he's taking meetings or doing that, I always wanted him when we played against him because he was really good. But obviously the allegations of background, but teams are not shy of passing those ones over and going, oh, he's changed. He's done this. He's done the rehabilitation and all that. But
I mean, he hasn't played, right?
He has not played.
Then I'm out. I'm out if he hasn't done anything.
But he's 28.
you're wild, dude.
That's why I wanted to test the water and say, hey, you know what? Like, here's a name who could be a nice little lefty out there. And if you need to get in there with some pitching.
The one that I mentioned, good God.
You didn't expect that one at all.
No, I didn't. I wasn't ready for that because I thought you were going to go the one name that I've heard from the Diamondbacks, or at least heard. I'm not going to say heard, as if I got on the phone with Jeff Passan and I just asked him who the Giants should get. No, he had an ESPN Plus article with all the top 16 teams in contention with over a 500 record and what they could do at the trade deadline. And the one name that he mentioned for the Giants was Merrill Kelly. And that gets Derek fired up more than anything. Whenever anybody suggests that an in-division trade should happen, dude does not believe in in-division trades, and I'm kind of with him.
Nor should you. I would never. You should never trade in your division, especially the Diamondbacks are looking at, and they're still kind of in that range. They're only 4.5 back, so 2.5 back of us.
Yeah,
sending us their now. If they fully went, hey, we're giving Eugenio is shipped out. We're tossing him out and start doing those moves, and they fully go, we're done. We're conceding.
Yeah,
give it a call because it doesn't hurt to call him. But if you're a team, you should never trade in division.
I agree, and that's why I'm like, I don't know about that. So like, I can't even give you like a list of names that could be of Giants' interest. I don't know, maybe Alcantara. He's having a really crappy year. I think his ERA is like over 7 now. But
you can get him at his lowest value right now.
But you'd got to think that there's not many out there right now available for trade that people would want. So you got to think Alcantara is going to be one of the headliners with any team that's trying to.
So if you're going with that aspect, I mean, I'm going to go back to the Orioles. And would you take a flyer on Charlie Morton, veteran guy who's been there? He's one of those older players who Orioles, if they're just going to go really young, go grab him. Was it not Tyler Rogers, but Rogers for the Orioles lefty? He's been having. Trevor, thank you, Trevor. I was like, it's not Taylor. It's not obviously not Tyler. Trevor Rogers, do you give them a call and see, hey, what will it take? Can we get him and O'Hearn together and package something right there?
And I mean, I think you'd have to use current players too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Posey just, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe used Mike Yastrzemski there and said, hey, Yastrzemski, you want to go to your old team? Like, I know that's kind of a long shot. I like Yastrzemski. I think he's a really solid leader and good for the club, but I don't really think they have many prospects right now. I think if you're going to beat teams in terms of creating a trade package, you're probably going to have to use some of those on the current roster. So I don't know. And as we always say on this old program, we'll see what happens because
time will tell.
Time will tell. That's a great one. It's a great cliche.
You haven't used that one?
Not in a while. Only time will tell when we see it, when we use it again. All right. So this one is going to get the those on the live chat a little more involved. But I was thinking about this, and I don't know if you have any players that are in your head. But this is something I thought about after Damian Lillard got signed, because as we saw, Damian Lillard got the 3-year deal, $42 million. He's going back to Portland. I mean, it made perfect sense. His 3 kids are still there. And
what a trade for the Blazers. You trade Dame and you get all those, and then you get him back 2 years later.
Yeah, at a discount when the Bucks are paying a majority of his salary. And on Dame's side, he's like, hey, I get to go back to my second home and I get to make $70 million for each of these next 2 seasons. That's good on, and $70 million just to rehab. God, the life of
Can I get like $2 million?
Yeah, just send him a little DM.
Hey, he's in Portland. I'm 3 hours away. I can shoot up there. And
I've always thought about that. I've always wondered if you could DM like a really, really rich athlete and just say, hey, man, can I get like $500? Like I need it to
maybe hit up that CEO's wife and see like, hey, you're taking half of his. Can you?
My God.
You want to send me something?
Coldplay? You get caught at
I'm not a Coldplay fan. You wouldn't catch me dead at a Coldplay concert.
I'd go to a Coldplay concert, but
Oh,
you resign over getting caught cheating at a Coldplay concert?
The ducking immediately was like, oh, this is obvious. The funniest part is that I had never heard of this company once until that happened. And the people on like Twitter who are going, that's so and so from this company. I'm like, how do you people know who this person is? First off, like that's crazy.
What's it? Astronomer?
I think it's astronomer.
Astronomer.
I don't even know what they do. But that dude, he screwed up everything.
I mean, I'd hope it's something that has to do with, you know, Astro stuff.
Man, that dude, you want to talk? Is that the biggest? Just you absolutely screwed up.
Yeah, yeah. I really wish that they would have been playing the song "Yellow" because it was all yellow. Because like he went just.
God, I do not like that song.
He went straight yellow, dude. He was out, gone. Oh,
hey, he had quick reaction time though for like getting down and out. I was like, "Whew, buddy." If you would have been a little bit quicker, you might have been good. I was at the Mariners game yesterday, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we're watching, and they go to the Jumbotron, and I'm just thinking, man, how many people are sitting there just praying, do not put me on this thing?
Everyone now. Everyone that's, I mean, there's, it is a cautionary tale. Like,
don't bring your side chick to a big show.
If you're cheating, don't do that. Like, go to a private area where you can
be amongst the people, because you're not going to get picked out like that to where you're up by yourselves, or you had the friend, I guess, is from what the internet says.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What a story.
I should have dug deeper into it. Like, look at Ernie already has, it's a marketing company, nothing to do with astronomy. How about that? I'm looking it up right now. It's an American data operations technology company specializing in AI with a valuation of around $1 billion and 350 employees.
Oh, that's when you just blame AI and be like, that wasn't really me. Yeah. That was just someone hacking into their Jumbotron trying to frame me. Come on.
What if the wife knew about it? Ooh. And she knew they were going there and knew a camera operator at the Coldplay concert and said, hey, they're going to be in this exact location. Make sure you get them up there in the public because they're going to be embarrassed. And then now she's getting what she's getting. Huh?
Hey, that would be some 4D chess.
Yeah, that's a heady play.
That is a bold strategy.
We watched that the other day. It never gets old. Shout out Dodgeball.
I have not seen it as recently as I should have.
But with Damian Lillard getting that contract, it had me thinking like he is one of those athletes that is just good for basketball. Like once he's done playing, you're gonna miss Dame time. Like there's just gonna be something about it, whether it's watching a Blazers team without him on there, maybe even watching the Bucks if Giannis sticks around and like wondering what could have been had he not torn his Achilles in the playoffs, all those different things. I think we're going to miss Dame. So as we kind of take from good for ball, bad for ball, shout out to the late Michael Urban. I'm wondering like who are the other guys in sports who are just good for their respective sport? Like it's just better when they're in it. And obviously there's the superstars, like we know what Shohei Ohtani is doing, like, and what he's doing for the sport. He's bringing eyeballs. We know what Aaron Judge is doing. He's obviously good for baseball. And it seems like he's kind of bringing back the classic, 2000 steroid era type of player who can hit for average and hit for power. But are there other guys out there in your head who's just like, they're good for the game right now?
So I took this in two different ways. There's the good for the game of like, is a performance on there watching them play. There's that version.
Yeah.
But I was also going with like the good for the game, like good vibes around the league.
Mhm.
And the first one that came to mind for NFL, that was the first one, Jameis Winston.
You took mine, dude.
Was that yours?
That was gonna be my number one for the NFL. Great.
That was the first guy I thought of. Like, man, when he like the videos and everything around, when I hear him talk, I saw a meme a while ago. It goes, "Oh, if the aliens ever came, the person I want meeting them first is Jameis Winston." And you're just going, come on, give me that guy.
Yeah, I know. He's just he's so unique, and he's not afraid to be himself. I think we get a lot
Not at all.
I think we get a lot of it in sports. Like, I mean, I mentioned Aaron Judge. Whatever Aaron Judge is saying I don't know who Aaron Judge is. Like, I really haven't learned much. And
I
think
he's great at baseball, and he's a big ass dude.
Yeah, and I think it's by design. Like, where it's the Tom Brady school of thought, where it's like you're going to give them 97% bullshit because you don't want them knowing about what you're truly thinking, how you truly react. You don't want people creating narratives about yourselves. So just don't create a buzz. Don't cause controversy. Don't do any of that. But Jameis is he's always Jameis, you know?
And the other aspect is there were games last year where you're going and he's winning games for them. And he's keeping, I'd go back to that Monday Night Football game that he had. And you're going, man, are they going to do it? And then he throws the interception in the end, and you're going, that was exactly Jameis right there.
Ooh, Ernie too says the wide receiver from Carolina, Xavier Legette.
Oh, yes.
He's great.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
He needs some more. He needs a little more in the league for me to go with him, but
yeah,
he's trending that way. So I agree with there.
You know who I think is really great for the NFL? And this guy is a superstar, but I don't think he gets enough credit for just how influential he is for other edge rushers. But I think Myles Garrett.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else, but I like Myles Garrett.
I think Myles Garrett is he's always doing something new where it feels like other edge rushers around the league are like, oh, I got to top that. It felt like he was the first one who was lining up as a middle linebacker, lining up in the A gap and doing the thing where he's pretending he's a basketball player with the crossover and then does some insane pass rushing move where he gets to the quarterback. Because after he did that, you see Max Crosby doing that. It's awesome to see Max Crosby doing it, but I also know that Garrett was doing it first.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is doing it because of Garrett and what he's able to do. So I think he's great for the game just in how he kind of sets the bar for the other edge rushers.
It's like, this is what the elite of the elite looks like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, you see him on a basketball court, he's dunking and everything.
We do need a 5-on-5 power forward, a defensive end kind of basketball game. They wouldn't allow that. They wouldn't allow it to be like some sanctioned event, where you're actually making it into a thing because you don't want to get these guys injured. I'd be fascinated to watch defensive line, specifically defensive ends. I'd be fascinated to watch them play 5-on-5.
That'd be my number one pick would be Myles Garrett
for sure. Although, you got other tight ends out there who can also play. So, you'd probably throw tight ends into that mix.
It'd be a good draft.
Yeah. Ernie too is saying I'm over the Kelceys, just too much overexposure. Yeah.
See, I don't mind them. I don't mind them that much. But it's like the same thing for me. Recently, it's like Pat McAfee.
Right.
I've been getting I loved McAfee going, and I still enjoy him. But it's like he's at every single thing, and you're like, man,
it's a lot.
But when they find a star and they find their guy, Jason was hilarious. I think Travis gets too much hate. He's not overexposing. He's just exposed because he's dating a megastar.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote down some for baseball. I think Pete Crow Armstrong is great for the game. I think this dude brings a little bit of flair.
I didn't think of that one. That one's
Chicago. I think he's a great up and coming player who is going to be put in the national spotlight in the playoffs. Like, I think if and when the Cubs make the playoffs, because it looks like they're going to, I'd say he's going to get a lot of exposure there. That's going to be perfect for them. I think Francisco Lindor. I think Frankie Lindor is just always good for baseball. I'm going to miss his smiling face whenever he's gone because he's on the other side now. I miss that.
That's why I had Andrew McCutchen.
Similar to that, yeah.
Similar kind of that Lindor trend of like wasn't great going that way, and you're just going, man. I was watching the game to where it was the random Pirates game. I had money on it, so of course I'm watching.
Yeah,
and it was McCutchen tied Clemente for most home runs in the Pirates, and the announcer was talking about before the game. He's like, "Are you going to do it?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing it at home. I'm making sure." He's like, "I'll probably do it today," and he goes out and does it. It's like those things are just so great.
Yeah, man. Everything that he does, really. Tarek Skubal from the Tigers.
Oh, I love Scooble.
Skubal's great for baseball because he's that special kind of psycho that a pitcher needs to be.
It is so insane watching him. It's just he is so good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, he was.
Yeah. I mean, he taught Robbie Ray his changeup. But
that's true. That was a huge get.
He's so intense, dude. Just so intense. Ernie, I can agree with that. Yeah. Harper. Yeah, good for the game. Bryce,
I'm a big Harper guy.
I do think Bryce. You're what?
I'm a big Harper guy.
Yeah. I think he's awesome for baseball. I've never really had a problem with him.
He's one of my favorite players if across the MLB of one of my guys.
Yeah, dude, watching him on that Wednesday afternoon game against the Giants when he's just absolutely crushing the baseball. Like
he was pissed off from the nights before.
Also, I think there's something that has to do with just our generation because he's kind of close to our age. And I mean, I think anyone who played baseball was born in the early 90s remembers watching Harper hitting home runs off like the roof of Tropicana Field when he's 16 or 17 years old. Just insanity.
And it's a guy who has lived up to his billing.
Yeah.
One of those first overall pick, and he's exceeded it. And watching Harper, it'll be one of those when he's gone, you're like, damn, did we take him for granted?
AJ Cruz says wearing a cup during sports. Yeah, of course that's good for the game. Yes, many children will be burned after.
Well, I play in a men's baseball league currently. A lot of fun. I do not wear a cup, but I'm at shortstop, so I'm like, I'm pretty safe.
Until that one errant
if I was at third base, it'd be different. But shortstop,
you got to make sure there's no larger.
I'm getting out of the way if one's coming like that. It's a men's league. It's not worth staying right there. I'll go. Hey, I'll eat the air.
Come on, dude, get in front of it.
Hey, they're lucky they have me out there. But
I love that confidence. Also, I think
catchers for sure wear cups from rocking. Catchers have to wear cups.
You are sure.
No chance you're out there without one.
Yeah, no way. And I think with the NBA, I think there's an obvious answer. But beyond the Stephs and LeBrons, like, look, the LeBron haters can say what they want. They're gonna miss LeBron when he's gone. And you love LeBron. We're not gonna get into that.
I've liked him less now that he's rubbed on me. That I'm like, dude, you're exhausting. But
yeah,
still my guy.
Yeah. But for the NBA, I just think Anthony Edwards is so good for basketball. I think he's like that perfect mix of cocky, confident, yet respectful of the past. You just don't see it now. Yeah, Ernie's who just mentioned
he's the next guy. It's here's the ball. The torch is yours if you want to just strap a rocket to him and go up.
Yeah. Ernie says I'll miss KD. I will miss KD. I do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets a lot of flack on social media, but
I love him on social media. Him just going after people, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like when we go to like last year, I went to the American Century Championship, right? The celebrity golf tournament in Tahoe.
Okay, I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you've never heard of that, dude?
No.
It's the best.
I'm not a golf guy.
No, but it's more than it's a party out there. Trust me, you'd love it.
I can get on board with that.
It's just a bunch of former athletes playing golf, music blaring, drinks flowing, people out there in the Tahoe sun. There's nothing better. It's the best. But that's literally the meaning of nothing better. But you kind of realize that a lot of those celebrities, whenever they're getting so much hate that you see that's just prevalent through social media, where there's also people that are huge fans of them.
Yeah.
And like you realize, Aaron Rodgers, it seems like he's like the most hated man in sports. People were going crazy for him. The Kelsey brothers, you think there's too much
in that area? I mean,
right.
Tahoe kind of background.
Yeah. The Northern California connection. The Kelsey brothers, like they were the most popular people out there. Like, you think they're being overexposed? I mean, I totally get that. That's very understandable. But there's a reason why. It's because people love them. Like, it's crazy how popular a lot of people are. If you just kind of get away from social media. And I learned that last year. Like I didn't even I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to get booed. I thought he was going to get shit thrown at. Yeah,
he's annoying as hell. There's no one. I've said it on the podcast. I've said it many times. I cannot stand him. Like it just wears on you. Of just every time he speaks, no matter what it is about, I'm just like, dude.
Yeah,
get it.
Yeah.
You think you're the smartest guy in the room at all times.
Yeah,
I accepted that, but
Yeah.
man, just stop talking, please.
He also, I mean, he basically said, "Don't talk about me. I'm tired of all the publicity, so it's fine. We won't talk about you then."
No one wants to, but you
Yeah.
keep going on these weekly appearances and making yourself a topic.
Yeah,
I had for basketball, Mike Conley.
Mike Conley.
He's won the what is it? The NBA Sportsman of the Year.
Pro.
One of those guys who just when the Wolves were in the playoffs and it was, hey guys, just I don't have much time left. Let's do. And Ant's like, we want to do this for him. Yeah. That's one of those guys who I'm going. I appreciated Conley because there's not many guys like him.
Yeah. I mean, he's been around for so long.
He's been around forever.
Yeah. God, I think he was in that same draft with. I think he was in the Kevin Durant draft, if I'm not mistaken. And
was he in that one? God,
I think so. The KD draft with Greg Oden, him. I think
you're right.
I think Jeff Green was in it too, because Derek and I did a little deep dive on that.
Yeah, the 07 draft.
Yeah.
He was the 4th pick in that draft. You know who went ahead of him?
Yeah, that was Horford, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Was he going to be a Warrior, by the way?
Could be. Have to wait till the Kuminga thing happens.
Man, that thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hang on. Just you know what? Let's just transition. I do have one more. George Kittle. Speaking of the celebrity tournament, George Kittle's really.
I hate to like him so much.
I know.
He murders my team every time. Yeah. We can't stop this one guy right here. He's wide open every single time I'm watching him. I'm just going. No one wants. He should be circle him. This is the guy you stop.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, I wasn't not a big Aaron Gordon guy. His story this year was sad, but that's never been one from Rock and New Era. Aaron Gordon doesn't jump to my brain.
Yeah, I mean he's always kind of the underrated X factor, but if I'm looking to the future, I'm not gonna say oh man,
his dunk contests were fun.
Yeah,
that aspect I'll go with. Yeah. Then you got those Zach LaVine in there. That's a package together.
For sure. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, we could probably go on for hours on this. But your Kuminga take from the outside looking in. I mean, 20 million. He wants 25 to 30 million a year. I think he's realized now that he's not going to get that. Seems the Warriors and him are at a stalemate where they're going to probably offer him a discounted contract, which he doesn't want, but they don't really have many other options because if they want to sign him, then that's when they can sign the other guys. They've been linked to Horford and DeAnthony Melton, but nothing's materialized because the Kuminga domino hasn't fallen yet. So your whole.
Do you ever see those couples to where they're together and you're just like, you can tell both of them don't really like each other. One wants this and the other wants to go this way.
For sure.
But they're kind of like, we should stay together for the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it seems like for them is that, we have Lake Up's this is my guy. We're there. I don't want to let him go, but man, both of you would be better off getting new partners.
Yeah. Right?
Would you not? They don't fit together.
Yeah. No, they're it's awkward. I think we are heading to another Jordan Poole 2023 season after he got punched in the face. He got the bag, got punched in the face, and it was just awkward. It was just weird the rest of the way, and you could tell everyone's putting a spotlight on him. I just don't think the Warriors want to go into this season with this type of drama, which it's going to be. They may think it's not going to be. He's by all accounts, a great teammate. He's obviously putting the work in, but I think he said already various times through Shams Charania, really, that he doesn't want to play for Steve Kerr, and he wants out of there.
It's similar to the Kevin Durant one in his last year with the Warriors, to where it was is he going to leave? Is he staying? What's kind of going on? He's not really there. Then you have the Draymond situation blow up, obviously, and that leads to everything. It's just why did the Warriors seem to find themselves always in this kind of spot?
Yeah, this one I thought could have been avoided. I looked to the Obi Toppin deal. He was a restricted free agent. or he was heading into extension eligibility with the Knicks, and they realized they didn't have a team where he would fit. He was a top draft pick, and then he ended up going to the Pacers with another year left on his deal. Instead of going into restricted free agency, he avoided it and got like a 4-year, $58 million contract or something, which is not what Kuminga wants. Kuminga wants more than that. But point being, they could have avoided all of this had they just ripped the Band-Aid off, potentially traded him earlier, found another shooter. Last year it was really hard because he was injured. Like I'm sure they wanted to involve him in a trade package, but they couldn't because the
timing didn't line up where it was, he got injured at this point and we can't really, no team's going to go, hey, let's take your guy right there.
Yeah. But if you knew you're not going to give him an extension, why keep him on the team? Like it just feels
creating a toxic situation right there. It's just, you're creating a reason for people not to like each other or run into that issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been avoided, and I think it still can be if they manage to get his contract somewhere else, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It sounds like they're just going to get him back on a discounted deal, a tradable contract, and then maybe by the time February comes around and more teams are kind of knowing what they have with their roster, then they'd be willing to give something up for him. I think that's kind of
the Kings do a Kings move and just overpay Kuminga, and you go, yep, you guys can have him. Have a bunch of the misfits cast of that team is insane.
Yeah, but you see what the Kings tried to offer him? It was not a great trade package. They tried offering like 2 second-round picks. I forgot who. I forgot who was in it.
You don't want Devin Carter?
Yeah, Devin Carter. I think Dario Saric was in it or something. I could have been wrong.
But I mean, at a certain point, if you go, okay, Devin Carter, is that better than just hanging on to Kuminga for the hell of it?
I don't know. Rough game. I wouldn't want to be the GM. I can tell you that. I wouldn't want to be him in that situation. All right, before we get out of here, is there one thing, since you're doing a football podcast, the South End Zone, that's what you're calling it, right? With a guy who's from either Tennessee or Alabama. Not sure what.
I'll get it right.
You'll get it right. You got to ask him in the next pod. You got to know that.
And I totally know what it is, and I'm like, oh.
But if there's anything with training camp that you're looking forward to, is there any storyline that you are actually keeping up with that's not, fabricated? Like personally, I'll just say it right off the bat. Like the Juwan Jennings thing is going to be a story out of 49ers camp.
Yeah.
I think it's a non-story. I think they're going to find a way to get an extension.
The Niners do this every year. They have someone sitting out, holding out, whatever you want. And then, here we go. 2 weeks before the season, guess what? A deal's done.
Right.
Water under the bridge. Here we go.
Right. Like, I think that's what it's going to end up being. But is there any storyline out there that you're going to be paying attention to? One that you just randomly think in the middle of training camp when you're just waiting for preseason games, you're like, oh yeah, that's happening. Like, I gotta look that up.
The big one to me, taking aside like the Seahawks and everything that's going, obviously focused on that. But from like just watching an interest standpoint, the Cincinnati Bengals and what they're going to do with Hendrickson and Stewart.
Yeah.
It has me going, how are you drafted a guy to potentially replace Hendrickson if you didn't want to go that way, right? Mm-hmm. He said, we don't want to pay you all this money. You draft a guy. And then you're going to go, actually, we drafted you, but we don't want to give the money that he's owed to you or do anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's language in the contract that they made up that is the holdup.
Yeah. They took out future guarantees that's never been done.
Yeah. For a team whose biggest problem last year was the fact that their defense was so bad that Joe Burrow and the Bengals were putting up almost historic type numbers and still could not stop guys. Yeah. Guess what? You just drafted a guy. Go pay him.
Yeah.
Hendrickson still always cracks me up every time I hear his name because I think of you immediately. And that will forever be the case. But
what, just because of his time with the Saints and how I thought those were just empty sack numbers?
Why did the Bengals pay him? Why did the Bengals get him? He doesn't produce. He just empty sacks. One of the better defensive linemen. So every time, and I'm just thinking, man, I'm like, would Steven pay Hendrickson now?
I would now. I've moved past that. I've matured, Mauser. I've grown.
I can see it. I can see it. It's there. I'm proud.
I don't think it's just a stat pattern anymore. I had the stats to back that up too. I used to. So I get, like I was thinking about that earlier. I don't think we've seen, like, going into a training camp, two players on the verge of a potential contract holdout who have been as outwardly critical of their team as those two have. Like Hendrickson,
it's so common with the Bengals. Like,
yeah, it
this
is.
team is so just run
Yeah,
horribly.
yeah,
There's a reason that gets graded. That offseason grade that always comes out, they're
yeah,
always terrible.
yeah, yeah. For whatever reason, God, Joe Burrow needs to get himself a Super Bowl, but I don't know how he's going to do that with that organization because they're just.
Did you watch quarterback?
Yeah,
yeah.
Loved
Did it make you like Joe Burrow more?
Makes me feel sad. It doesn't make me like him any more or less.
Maybe like Jared Goff more.
Yeah, yeah.
But that
Goff.
also is like his wife is smoke show.
I just realized. I realized when watching it that Joe Burrow looks like a guy who's always getting over a cold. Does. Like he's on the other side of a really nasty cold.
He's just kind of so nonchalant, like, oh yeah, like, oh, this was going on, like,
pretty cool. And
it's like, and he's just balling out, so I can respect it.
Yeah,
I wish he would have got the Batmobile, but I understand why he didn't.
Yeah, fossils are sick. Yeah, fucking sick. In the ground for millions of years. Pretty sick.
The Kirk Cousins, it was sad.
What, you mean the celebration with the Roy Rogers, or just the fact that he was a backup quarterback?
The scene of him and his brother singing in the car, I had to fast forward through. I was just like, this is driving me insane. I'm so sick of this. I skipped through. And then the little kid, his son, goes, can you guys stop? And I was like, I was thinking the same thing. Can you guys
stop? So I guess, like, for me, if there's one thing I'm going to be looking to, one, it's that I'm going to watch Giants training camp. I'm interested to see what it's like with the quarterback room there with Jameis and with Russ. Like, that's going to be like a fascinating dynamic out there. And also, I think they're going to have, with Abdul Carter, I think they're going to have one of the most stud defensive lines in the league. So I'm actually really interested to see how they gel. Because the videos from OTAs, that's
a good one. Yeah, that's
the videos from OTAs. I was like, oh shit, like they could. I mean, they might unlock Kayvon there with him and Brian Burns. That's going to be a solid defensive line.
It's a scary defensive team man. And Neighbors was putting up great numbers with Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito and all these guys. Give him someone like Russ, Jameis, or even Jackson Dart over wins.
Yeah. God, I forgot about Jackson Dart. Even I was just focusing on the veterans.
You mean the first round pick?
But I also think that the one that everyone's going to be keeping an eye on, and rightfully so, is the Browns. I'm going to be watching for their quarterback situation. Yeah, feels like that's too obvious though. It's just like, is Shedeur going to be there or not? Like, what's going on? I'm fascinated to go what's going on there, and that's really
Kenny Pickett going. Oh, I need to know.
That's really it as far as like storylines I'm going to be keeping up with. I was trying to go through every team, and there's not much that's I'm pressed to learn about through training camp. I mean, I guess I'm seeing a lot about Justin Fields and how kind of these analysts are bullish with him on the Jets and think that he could have like one of his better seasons and maybe revert back to the Bears quarterback that he was in 2023. But like, I don't know. Beyond that, there's not a ton that piques my interest. Maybe something will pop up, but I think you kind of named it with the Bengals because that's going to be one to keep an eye on.
That's the juiciest kind of. This could get messy.
Yeah,
but from like intriguing like position battles or things like that. I mean, depends on how interested you are in watching Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson fight it out. Yeah,
that's something. Anthony Richardson's coming back from injury, right? Like they said he was a go, or
he's shut down currently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's Daniel Jones is your starter most likely.
Oh boy. What was the other thing? What else was I going to bring up? I can't even remember. Oh, I just can't wait till we ultimately see the Dallas Cowboys talk of training camp. Like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are looking like the most dangerous duo that's ever going to grace the NFL field. Ultimately, to watch the inevitable Cowboys implosion where something goes haywire and it just doesn't work. So I'm excited to read up the training camp notes about how good they look, because they're going to look really good in training camp. They're going to look really good in preseason. Ultimately, to see them just disappoint in the regular season, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and in that division, they might be the worst team in that division potentially.
Yeah, Yeah.
Like, very quickly, it got bad for Dallas.
I forgot that the Commanders already, they already signed Von Miller. That was a big one. I forgot the Commanders have Laramie Tunsil. I totally forgot they added him along the offensive line.
Thank God.
It could be pretty good. Damn.
Then coming off of last year, making an NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But they also are set up for the biggest like disappointment, probably.
Totally.
That would be that team right there of going.
Totally.
Everyone's like in on them now. Everyone pushed their chips on the Commanders, and
Jaden Daniels might be in for the classic sophomore slump. But as we say, Bowser, we'll see what happens. Okay. So what's the podcast? Where are you at? What do you want to plug? All that sort of stuff. Get the listeners here involved.
Yeah, I'm out in Seattle now. So if you're ever out here, hit me up. We'll take you to a Mariners game. Go see that. But it's the South End Zone podcast. Anywhere you go, Apple, Spotify, all of that. We're doing shows. Usually we try to get them out Tuesdays, Fridays. Once the season starts, it'll be locked in probably like that. But right now we're just kind of doing once a week and getting it going. But we're going to start ramping up. And so we'll need to have you on, talk some. I want to talk to you about your Raiders and my old guy Pete and Gino. And we'll have you on for that when we preview them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, appreciate you hopping on. And everyone, I'm not going to go down the list, but I know Ernie 1, Ernie 2, Skills joined late, AJ. We had pretty much the usual suspects here tuning in today. So thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. Jesse's looking at me because I got to go. But just remember, it's just our opinion, man.